I'm not going to know what I look like, but, you know, it's okay. This is another podcast. Welcome back. I don't even remember the name, to be honest with you. It's been so long. I'm just kidding. It's Wide Open and Personal. Mom, Dad, me, and yeah, Spur of the Moment podcast. Got anything to say?
I was working on a car and she texted me. She says, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?" I said, "When now?" She said, "Yep."
That's kind of how Haley rolls.
Yeah.
It is how I roll, but that's kind of how you have to roll.
This will be posted in 2028.
That's not funny. That's really not funny. I mean, he's not wrong, but it's not funny.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You're watching another episode of Wide Open and Personal with your host, Haley Gross.
Okay, so I figured we'd do a podcast because we haven't updated any videos other than, or platforms other than Facebook, because that's the easiest to do with a busy life. On just 2025, things that happened, the Dome, racing as a whole, future things. Obviously, Patreon will see this first. I will have it edited and uploaded this week, but I'm assuming probably next week or the end of this week will be when YouTube sees this. So, who wants to start?
Or do you want to start at
Whatever
the
your little
beginning
heart
of
desires.
2025 in general?
Yep, let's go for it.
What do you want to talk about?
You guys are my guests.
What did 2025 look like?
It was very busy. Very, very busy.
A lot of change. A lot of new things. New jobs, new racing, new experiences.
Career opportunities.
So go back to beginning of 2025.
Well, in the beginning, we started building Haley's house. And then, of course, that took a little bit of process. And then, of course, I was having Michael Long put me a new Longhorn together. And I didn't get it until...
May?
No, I don't think I raced it till July. And I was almost going to not race it until this season. But I'm glad I did because it took a lot of trial and error to get it to where I was comfortable in it. And it's probably the fastest thing I've ever drove. So with that being said, we ended off the year in a good note. So with that being said,
Your last race was the Turkey Bowl.
Yeah, my last race was the Turkey Bowl, and that's probably the fastest that car's ever been. I just had some crap luck. But it was fun luck, though.
Do we ever have really good luck? I mean, I don't necessarily know that.
Yeah, we didn't tear nothing up.
We didn't tear anything up, but I just mean like cards. For some people, they seem like they always fall in their favor, and we're just not those people. Yeah. And that's okay. It's all right.
I don't see it that way.
I think we have really good experiences and really good times, but like, I feel like both of our cars were capable of doing great things this year, and they did, but sometimes we got involved in wrecks and other times it was our fault, and that obviously is going to happen, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. How did your 2025 start?
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like helping you guys do your things. I don't know how else to explain it.
Was it a good year?
Yeah, I think it was a good year. A lot of growing, I think, in our family. In every aspect of life, in racing, in our faith, in just lots of areas. Like he said, we're sitting in Haley's house. We started, I think, in January of last year, didn't we? Is that when you dug the...
No, it was March.
It was March.
Yeah.
It was March.
Started around February, March.
The plan was, okay, so we talked about it. Let's just jump back so that people understand, because we didn't cover this on hardly anything. We posted about all of it happening, but nobody knew the rhyme or the reason or anything about it. So I moved back home last June.
2 Junes ago.
Yeah, 2 Junes ago, because it's 2026. So June of 24, and I was on the look for an apartment, land, tiny homes. Like I looked at those container homes. Like I looked at every.
She was going to move in a single wide with no windows, and I said, "Well, that ain't going to happen."
You can put windows in those, but I looked at every option, and basically, I was either going to have to buy land, which I didn't want to do because it was a permanent thing, and obviously I'm young and I don't know what life has to offer, or pay $1,400 for a good apartment. And I've already
with no
lived,
shop.
yeah, with no shop, and I drive a race car, and I have a car that I don't necessarily want to be out in the weather all the time, and so that's a lot of money to spend on something that's never going to be yours.
And have neighbors that you don't know that you can trust, or
Like the last apartment I lived in, I pretty much got high all the time off of my neighbor next door.
And she never had to buy weed once.
We're not that family.
she's
I
not
don't-
that person. She means just contact high. It was
Yeah, contact high.
constant smell of weed in everywhere.
Yeah. And I just didn't want to live in an apartment complex again. Like I said, you're basically, dare I say, pissing away your money at something that's never ever going to be yours, and you're never going to see a dime of it back. So Dad, one day, I think we were actually sitting at Christmas at your mom's house, and you looked at me across the table, and I guess you and Mom had already talked about it, but you were like, I have an idea. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, what if we build a house on our property, like a little shop house for you? And I was like, yeah, well, I'll just have to see how that works. And then we talked about it a little more as a family. They were going to build a shop down here anyways, where this shop house is.
We talked about it for several years, building a second garage down here, because Gary owns his own concrete business and he races. They all race. So you can never have too much garage space for all of the things. So we talked about it off and on throughout the years of always maybe putting something down here with a living quarters in it. It could be a guest house. It could have been for when family came into town. It could have been for Haley
Or when I get tired of my wife.
when he gets to go to the doghouse, whatever. For Haley and a significant other or whoever to stay in, whatever the case may be. Kinley when she gets a little older. So we talked about that off and on, and it never came to fruition. So it kind of came back into our minds.
So instead of building a garage down here, we added on to my garage and then built a shop house down here.
with garage space. So I currently have my old, and we'll touch on this later, A mod sitting in the garage on a lift.
It's pretty much half garage, half shop.
Yep. But yeah, we built a house, built a shop house. That's where we're at right now. It's treating me and my puppy well. I got a puppy.
And a puppy.
Was that
Touch on
the
one
end
more
of-
thing about your house.
Oh,
That
yeah.
the plan is, just so people understand, because I know there's comments a lot on social media about things. Haley does make the payment on this house. It is in Gary and I's name.
You've already said that.
I know. I'm explaining further. It is in Gary and my name. But
it's
it
on
is
their
hers,
property.
and it's on our property. It can't be divided in the way our tracks on our street are, to be separated, to be permanently hers. The plan is for her to live here and pay on it, and then if we decide to sell our property,
It adds
which would
equity.
include this,
We're going to give her.
we'll give her back everything that she has invested here, and
Plus
she
a little
can
bit.
she can use that for wherever she buys, rents, moves, lives, whatever.
In saying that, you should add that this added equity to your property.
Yes.
So you'll be able to sell all of it for more.
Right.
Now that it's on here, because somebody might just be looking for
And-
a
and-
shop house and a house and a big garage.
Right.
And just so everybody knows, we do have a plan, and it's just about 2 miles down the road. I got, 10 to 15 to 20 acres or whatever, I want. We only want around 10, but I could have, all I want that's already, lined out for me, waiting on me whenever the right time has come. So,
Whenever they decide to pull the trigger.
Yep,
So
and
that's the
it's-
plan with the house.
so we're going to do this. Me and my wife are going to build us a bigger shop house on that land when the time's right for, we don't know what Haley's going to do, but that's our plans. Cause I don't want a basement. We never go down there.
No.
I was
Haley
the
was the
only
only
one
one
that
that
used it.
used the basement. Kinley uses it sometimes when we have holidays and people come over. All the kids go down there and play pool and watch TV and hang out in the living room. But yeah, we don't really. It's basically storage, which is nice because it does give me a place to keep all of my things. But yeah, we'd like to have a big shop house. Why
where-
are you laughing?
I was thinking of this, the basement part of it. I was watching Haley walk down the steps one day, and Amanda just waxed the steps. And Haley's feet come out from underneath her, and she went all the way down to the bottom.
I did. That was my last concussion I had. It was horrible. That one took me, like, backstory is I've had, I think, 6 concussions. If I count all of them, I've had 6. And that's horrible to say because I drive a race car. But, yeah, that was my last concussion. And I went all the way down to the bottom. No, they're wooden steps. Like, he just said she had
15 of them, I
quicker than
think.
she came up with them, I promise you.
I was hurting. Like, and when I get hurt, I'm like, everybody go away. Let me evaluate me first. But I know I'm hurt. So, like, I remember going into the unfinished part and just holding my head. And you two came down there and you were, like, scared to death that I was really hurt, which I was. I honestly think I might have cracked the back of my skull, but I never went and got it checked out. I should have. Probably go get yourself checked out if this happens to you. But I didn't. And anyways, it took me months to recover from that one. But yeah, that's another reason you don't need a basement.
I'm not even
I
sure.
didn't wax the steps either, by the
No,
way.
I
They
think you
just
just
happened
cleaned
to
them.
be shiny, glossy, black or wooden steps.
She dusted and waxed them.
No.
I think you'd probably clean them recently.
And you had
but
socks
didn't,
on, too.
I did have socks
I
on,
don't-
and I was carrying something in my hand. I remember that.
weights.
Yeah, that's right. I was lifting in my room. Like, I was in the
You
workout.
had metal weights.
Yeah, I had weights. So then when I stepped, I remember I let the weights go
Yeah, it
because
marked my wall.
yeah, you've got a permanent mark on your wall. Anyways, I don't know how we got onto that,
Out
but
of all the injuries I've ever had, I don't think I've ever had a concussion.
Oh, I think you probably have. You just didn't know.
You just don't know. You're not going to go get tested.
Speaking
so.
of which, the concrete trucks are trying to kill you in 2025, right?
We start fresh tomorrow, though. We
start fresh
And
tomorrow.
we start fresh last week.
Yeah, Gary had a concrete driver accidentally drop the concrete chute with concrete in it on his head. And if you know anything about concrete trucks and concrete chutes, those suckers
Heavy.
are heavy, steel and heavy.
It was an
And
accident.
It was an accident, but it could have been really, really bad had it been a smaller or lesser man.
Well,
and then
have you seen the head on it?
Yes, like a block.
And then a few weeks later, a concrete truck did not listen to the advice of Gary and his employees on where to pull the concrete truck,
And
got stuck,
parks it on their septic system.
gets
Yeah.
stuck, and they had to put blocks underneath the tires to try to get it unstuck, and it shoots a block out, and
Well,
it hits Gary in the leg.
That's kind of how it happened, but it was a concrete truck with a conveyor on it, so it had outriggers on it that go out and stabilize the truck whenever they're conveying the concrete. So when he pulled out there and he got stuck, he sunk. So we got the conveyor off to the light side, and we used the outriggers to hoist the truck up in the air. So as it went up in the air 4 inches at a time, we would throw stuff underneath the tires to hold it up, and then we'd lift the outriggers back up, and we'd stack blocks or whatever we had underneath the outriggers up, and we'd go up inches at a time. Well, one of the times, the block that we put in there blew out of the outrigger because it had so much weight on it. It was lifting the cement truck up, hit me in the leg.
It plowed him in the leg. He
It
sends
did
me a
just hit
picture.
you.
I
It
still
blew
got
out.
a little bump.
I don't know if they can see it
Yeah.
or not, but yeah, you've got. He had a big hematoma.
A huge
A huge
hematoma.
one.
Probably the size of his fist
To
on
the
his
point
leg.
That, like, I don't even know, like a week, maybe
A
5
week went
days
by
or so?
and he was like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." Well, about a week and a couple days into it, his whole leg swelled up, and I made him go to urgent care, and they sent him straight to the hospital to make sure he didn't have a blood clot. Did a Doppler and a bunch of blood work, and his blood work came back high for markers of a blood clot. So,
extremely high. Can I add that?
yeah, it didn't end up being that. It was just the hematoma, but I wish they would have done an x-ray because I have a feeling he probably cracked that shin bone as
He
well.
did have cellulitis. So
I walked it off.
He walked it. He tried to walk it off.
This is like the first podcast or second podcast we did. You were like, I'm from Elvins. We walk it off.
That's what I told them. Everybody couldn't believe it when it happened, and they're like, I said, just give me a minute. Maybe 10.
Finished his work
Probably
day and
20.
worked every day thereafter.
No, Mom picked me up for lunch that day and she was like, open my phone and open your dad's text message. I was like, what am I going to see? And she goes, it's nothing like that. We don't do that.
Nothing like the headboard at the hotel.
Oh my God.
Listen, we're getting all kinds of off
We
track
have
here.
to touch that in later, like towards the end of the year, because we're not even past the first
No,
of the
we
year.
haven't even
jumped
got past February.
We were just jumping around. So hopefully you like listening to like stories. But then I opened the her phone and their text messages, and I see a picture of his leg, and I'm like, oh my God, what did he do? Anyways, yeah, it was bad.
Well, that left leg has took a beating because very first night in my brand new car, the car fell on the sumbitch. So
We
yeah,
did talk
he's got
about
a big
that, right?
start. We haven't talked
Yeah.
about that yet. Basically, 2025 was very much a growth year, but it was also very eventful at the same time. There was a lot of hard decisions made, easy decisions, growth with racing, like you said, growth in every aspect. And I made a post on Facebook that said that there was literally growth in everything we did. But there was a lot of things that we didn't talk about, like those things that happened. The car fell on you, I think, twice.
it did fall me twice.
It fell on you twice.
Almost got me at Peevely too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the one at Peevely you likes to jack down real fast.
Keep their
No, you didn't have the jack stand back far enough by your by the
jack stand stopped
by
it,
the
yeah.
seat. But yeah, it stopped it, but it still got your leg.
Yeah.
Anyways, your left leg's been through it. So the first time the car fell on you was at Poplar Bluff. And he didn't even tell us. It was him and Crockett.
I told Crockett not to tell him.
And Crockett is like white as a ghost. I mean, like white is you probably like a dead person. Probably he's literally a sheet of paper. And he comes walking up, and we're like, "What happened?" And he doesn't say anything. We're like, "Crockett, what's wrong with you?" And we're all sitting in the trailer, and it was cold. I think was
No,
it
it was
cold?
summertime.
It was hot.
July.
It was hot.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is the curtain was closed, so it was probably because we had fans and stuff
Yeah,
in
we
it.
had the air on.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see out to the car. So Crockett's peeking in at this point, trying to give you like what the scene looked like here. And we're all sitting in the air conditioning, and he finally tells us the car fell on Gary, and we're like, what? The car fell on him? And he's like, oh, he said he's fine. He's up and walking. He's fine. It's off of him now. And, he's just like playing it off like it's fine. So we look at each other and we decide that we're not going to go out there because he's evidently fine. This is not the first time something like this has happened. It's happened in years past where something stupid with the race cars happened. Dad didn't like to use jack stands. It is now a permanent rule that we have
Permanent
to.
rule. If I catch anybody in our garage or in our pit stall or anywhere without jack stands or proper safety measures in place, I pull the plug.
She pulled
I am not watching a loved one or a crew member or a fan or a friend or anybody get chopped in half.
Well, what's even bad about that was my first night in the car, might even been the first ever race on it. I was starting outside pole and I couldn't trail brake because my leg hurt so bad. So
Well, and so
Yeah,
to
it
preface
sucked.
this, he came in there and he's also, we can tell he's hurting because he's my dad and he's her husband, and he's hurting clearly, but he's trying to play it off and act like he's cool. And we're like, let us look at it, and he wouldn't let us look. So then finally we got to look at it. It's still gushing blood. It's cut open.
cut wasn't gushing,
cut so
but-
deep it wasn't really bleeding.
It was still bleeding
Yeah,
to the
but it wasn't
point that
bad.
when we got home, we had to change your bandage because it was. And when you got out of the car, I had to change it again because it was soaked. But it was a lot of clear fluid
we
too.
come straight home and went to emergency room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, the point here being is he was hurt pretty bad that he couldn't trail brake, and it probably cost you a little bit of a race.
Shit happens.
But
So yeah, Gary's got some safety protocols he needs to start following. Maybe me putting him in bubble wrap every
Yeah.
day.
what else happened in 2025? We skipped a whole lot around.
We raced a lot,
We raced more than we've ever raced,
for sure.
individually and combined.
Yes.
Kinley did not race a lot, but she also didn't necessarily want to race all that much.
She did, but
she
she
did.
but she didn't. Yeah. So
She's
I'd like to put her in a kids mob, but she have to show a little more interest in it. And I mean, we'd do it tomorrow if that's what she wanted to do, but she doesn't show a whole lot of interest in it. So.
She talks about it when it's
Yeah.
the topic of conversation, but she doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
bark down any doors to make it happen, which is fine. That's like you said, it's always been her decision, and if she wants to do it, you'll do it. But we race a lot.
Yeah, and we both, I didn't do, I wasn't even competitive in that Pierce car, so, but we still tried to race it because we're racers, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to get that car out when I got it, because I'm like, I'm tired of just going in a circle here. I'm not going forward. I think I'm going backwards. And I think it was just a car the car didn't fit me. It wasn't for lack of effort, because hell, I tried everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, you try too many things.
I think you threw
so-
the kitchen sink at it too many times.
But
The car didn't accept changes, because whenever I changed it, it didn't do anything any different. So
Well, some cars are just like that.
No,
And also some cars don't suit certain people's
Yeah.
driving styles, and that's just how that is.
I mean, you can change a bar length or a bar adjustment in this car, and this new car, you can tell a big difference.
And the Longhorn
Yeah.
that you have. Yeah, we raced a lot. We traveled to a couple different new places. We went to Fairbury. That was new for us as
That's fun.
drivers.
as far as
Yep.
racing at, yeah.
It's very fun. I've been there before, but not as a driver. It's an awesome atmosphere, awesome track. The owners are great. We went to Macon. We went
That
to
was a blast.
That was fun. I beat him in a heat race, but we raced hard for a lap or two, and it was fun. I had my first 2 heat wins this year, one at Peevely and one at Macon,
Both in the A mod.
both in the A mod.
And you want to be main and B mod.
I want a B main in the B mod, the
At Peevely?
first, second, or third night out in it. At Peevely.
It was
We
a
raced
World
a-
Outlaw show, I believe.
Yes, it was. We raced a whole lot at Peevely.
That's kind of been our quote unquote home track for 2025.
And
I think we'll be there
I believe it'll be our home track again in 2026.
Gary competed in the battle with the bull ring points stuff for the year between Brownstown and Peevely, and I think you ended 6th or 7th.
6th or 7th place, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got 4th at Brownstown.
Yeah.
In the points that they did, which they didn't have very many points nights, but they did have
A couple.
I raced quite a bit there in the A mod this year, which I had never been in the A mod. I had only been in the B mod. You got to fly on your forehead.
It was on your couch.
Where else did we went somewhere else new? I think maybe not.
We just went to old number 1, and
You went.
That was
you
the
raced-
first race of
Yeah.
the year back in
raced at Old Number
February or
One.
March.
It was March. But yeah, just a lot of things, a lot of racetracks, a lot of traveling. It was good. It was really good. We showed speed a lot.
Gary set quick time at Peevely toward the end of the season. Beat out top guys. Kenny Wallace.
it was a fluke.
Was Harrison racing that night?
No.
Not in the A mods.
no.
I think he is
was
late
a
model. Yeah, beat some really, really, really seasoned
I think you
veterans.
were like, were you 4
it was
tenths
3
faster?
tenths faster.
You're almost 4 tenths faster than Kenny Wallace that night. But
Just in qualifying.
just in qualifying.
Yeah.
But,
But it was
I mean,
good.
still, at the beginning of the night, qualifying is everything. So
It was huge.
Yep,
there were,
and that was my whole goal, was to, because I can't qualify. I'd never been able to do it. I guess I get in my own head. So we was slowly getting faster. I mean, and it was starting to click a little better, and hopefully that's how we start off.
well, I'm going to say something, and you may or may not agree, but he was also learning how to run the top. And when he set quick time, he was running middle to top because it was hammered down, and that's where you had to run that night. But previous years, you just like the bottom, and it suits you as a driver. So I think the top makes you a little more uncomfortable. But also, you set your cars up more for the bottom, so you just run the bottom really well. But this year you also learned how to run the top,
Working
and
on
we're
it.
definitely proud of you about
Yep.
that. You beat some deck panels off.
Yeah, we went
Finally knocked some decking
We
out.
went through a few more with the new car than the old car wouldn't do it. It just didn't, for me, it didn't like it. So therefore I never did it.
Yep. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, you run the bottom really well, but yeah.
Trying to think of other life things outside of racing that happened in 2025. Haley's best friend had her first baby. Mm-hmm. So River,
Early in the year, Miss River.
she'll be one here in a couple days. And then Crockett and Tatum had Cashton also in January. So he'll be one coming up. Haley's childhood best friend got married.
Two childhood best friends got married.
My brother had his first child, him and his wife, in April. So lots of babies and weddings and
Yep.
what else?
I got a new job towards the end of the year.
You like that?
I do. I'm closer to home, way closer to home. I can come home and let my dog out on my lunch break.
Hour lunch
that,
breaks.
That was what determined if I got a dog. And I got that job, and I kind of stayed there for a month or so. And then I was like, yep, ready for a dog. I can come home and I can take care of it. I didn't want to put that burden on her. It's just one more thing she's got to take care of, and that's not fair either. We did the dome.
Haley had a goal.
did
Talk
the
about your
dome.
goal first.
I had a goal that I set early in the season, and honestly, I did not think I was going to reach this goal. I set it super high, but the goal was to get invited to the dome. And I knew to do that, I had to race it the best that I can, finish the most races that I could. Obviously, I wanted to try to win a race. I did not win a feature race. And also get up on our social media and all of the things that go along with the process. So, generally speaking, I'm horrible at being down on myself. So this year, we had a motto. And it's something, and you can touch on this, because it's something from someone I played softball with and have grown up with, and they always said, say you can. And so I remember she looked at me towards the beginning of the season, and she just said, you need to do the best you can, not even pertaining to this goal, but just in everything. I think you were just meaning in life, in racing, in work, in whatever. And I really took that to heart, and I think we did that. So I think that the results proved that this year. But in saying that, I did get invited to the dome. I was the last round invite. And to be honest with you, we were working in the shop. I don't remember what race we had, but we were working on my car and your car. And Doug
texts me. Yeah.
texts to the group chat like a screenshot of the last round pick for the Gateway Dirt Nationals, and they did it on Sundays, right?
Sunday and Wednesday, but I don't remember which day of the week that one was.
I think it was a Sunday. I think.
Possibly.
So we were like getting ready for then the following week at racing, and I had no idea where my phone was, but Doug texted it to our little group chat we've got. And if you don't know who Doug is, Doug and Joe, they're from Finding the Underdog, and I call him Grandpa Doug.
Grandpa Doug, Brother Joe.
Yep, Grandpa Doug and Brother Joe. So Doug texted it to the group chat, and Dad just randomly blurted out, "You made it." And I was like, "What? What do you mean I made it? What did I make?" And he's like, "You made the dome." And I was like, "Oh!" And then we got excited and we called Mom and all the things, because she was down here at my house. We have a dog wash in the garage, and she was
That was
washing.
one of my non-negotiables when she built this. It was like, okay, so you're not going to be here forever, and eventually, if we're still here, this will be ours. And I have a lot of dogs, and I need a dog pet washing station. So there is one in the shop, and it's great.
Yes.
But anyway,
So she was down here, and she hadn't been on her phone either. So then I have a video of all of this, but
You'll see it in 28.
I told you, when you're ready to start editing videos, just let me know. I'll give
I
you
don't even like being on them hardly, so I'm not editing them.
Well, at least you're honest. So anyways, I got invited to the dome. To be honest with you, we've been there. We know people, obviously, that have race there, and we've been around it enough to know about it, but we didn't know what it all entailed as taking a car and being a driver. So after I got invited, we had to literally buckle down and figure everything out really quickly. So that looked like merchandise, and
Had like a month to do it, maybe month and a half.
it was crazy. Like, I remember that first few days, I was still working up at the hospital that I worked at. And I was on my phone, like, in between every patient that I saw. I was like messaging sponsors and making posts.
We were both on our phone and on the
emails.
computer like all day for like, it felt like 7 years, but it was like probably 2 weeks solid every day, all day, and just making sure that we're answering everybody that's messaged us back and writing down notes and just constant returning of messages.
And I do want to say that up until about this point and half a month before, we were caught up pretty much on videos. Then we weren't all of a sudden. And then
I ain't seen a video in like 6 months. The first one.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
We're in January now. But, well, it's not been 6 months. Anyways, goodness, I'm going to shut your microphone off. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was saying.
That we were just so busy returning messages.
We were so busy. We had been on our phones so much. I didn't want to or need to be on mine anymore. But we were talking to sponsors and emailing people and getting with the merchandise, which R&R Racewear, thank you for the t-shirts. They were awesome. But I gave them like little to no vision on what to do with the t-shirts because I was just that tapped out. It was like, whatever you think's gonna sell, here's a picture. Maybe you could use it, maybe you won't. I don't know. And they brought it to life. So shout out to them. Thank you, Trackside Racewear, for selling the merchandise and the apparel at the Dome.
That was a huge help for us.
That was a huge help. We definitely, probably if I end up back there or you end up back there or whatever, we'll have somebody sell it again, because I don't know that unless we just find people that want to sell it for us, I don't know that we have the capacity to do that, and you don't either.
I mean, I don't have any desire to sit at a booth and sell merch for 3+ days or 3 whole days alone or with help. It just, I am a hands-on mom, and I like to be a part of the racing and the helping in the pits and watching and videoing the races. So yeah, you do lose a little bit of that extra money that you get when you don't sell it by yourself. But yeah, I would have missed out on a lot of moments and a lot of memories had I been stuck up there. So I'm grateful that we were able to go that route. And Gunner with Trackside Racewear was super hospitable, super helpful, super trustworthy, did us a huge solid, and
literally inventoried everything with us.
Went over everything before, during, and after with us. There was no secrets, no questions, nothing felt off in any way, and we would definitely recommend him and use him in the future.
And if we had a question or he had a question, he made sure we had the answer, because there was a couple times like we were like, no, just make it a loss on us, and he's like, no, we're not doing that. So he's super honest. We actually, Michael recommended.
Yeah,
right?
Michael Long recommended him. That's who sells his t-shirts. So
Michael recommended him. So he's local to Fairbury. That's where he primarily is at. He will travel
I think
a little
he does
bit.
their merch, doesn't he, for the tracks?
He does all of, or most of Shannon Babb's merchandising as well. But he's a Fairbury local. However, he does travel to some races. So make sure if you're in the market for somebody to sell merchandise for you, you message them primarily on Facebook, I think is where he's active the most. But so many sponsors to thank. I don't have a list in front of me, or I could, but I do have a whole 25-minute video on my phone that is going to be posted after this airs, of course. It goes along with a YouTube video, but it also can go separate on Facebook as well. But yeah, the Dome was
on top of all of the Dome things, and Andy with X-pert powder coat and fabrication did the wrap. He's been doing our wraps for most of 2025. He killed it. Him and Haley worked together with their brilliant minds and came up with something we went back and forth. Haley kind of wanted a theme. A lot of people do like Christmas themes and things for the dome. And
I
I'm
wanted
like,
a beach theme.
yeah. And I was like, I think you really just need to do a really clean race car wrap.
My words was keep it clean. That looks like a badass race car.
Like a simple
Yeah,
wrap.
because there's all kinds of themes. And let's make it look like a badass race car. And boy, that's what they did.
But going back to that, my theme for Haley has always been teal. Teal is my favorite everything. If you don't know a color to get me in something, get teal. And odds are I'm going to love whatever it is, even if I don't like what it is. But, so we went with teal. It actually turned into like more of an emerald color. And it looked amazing. The chrome was awesome. I got with Andy and he sent me some different swatches that I could look at of chrome. And we kind of asked each other, which one do you like? Which one do you like? And we went back and forth, and it honestly, pictures didn't do the car justice. There is one picture, there might be a couple, but there's one particular picture by Michael Boggs Photography, and you can see the purple in it, you can see the green in it, you can see the teal, you can see blue, you can see pink.
You really had to be in person under those dome lights to see all of the brilliance in the colors and in the wrap. It really, really was something to see in person, and they did a great job. Such a great job that Haley was able to win Best Appearing Car for all the modifieds for 2025 at Gateway Dirt National. So that was really awesome.
I do also want to say, when we first got we're petitioning for the invite on some of our social media. I did word some things that I was the first female modified driver to be at the Dome. However, there was a female modified driver back when the Dome first started, but it was not an invite-only event at that point in time. It was just a kind of they were trying to get everything up and running, and so she was there. But I was the first female to be invited into the modified portion. Now this coming season, I do have some modified friends, some IMCA friends, a couple of them that would like to get invited, and I hope that they do. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to see more women, female modified racers race at the Dome. There's already quite a few female, younger and older late model racers that race there, and that's awesome as well. Yep.
And we won't be jealous because they're females like other people was at Haley, so we would encourage them.
Yeah. We parked beside
I can't think of her name.
Bree Whitmore.
Yeah,
Whitmore.
Good family, good people.
They're awesome. She's younger. I think she's 18. She's 18 or so. But she races a late model, and it honestly, we didn't not that we didn't want to park by her, but we didn't plan to park by her. But it ended up being awesome that we got to park beside her, because people that were looking for female racers got to take a picture right. They didn't have to search for either one of us. And there was lots of people that wanted a picture with both of us, which was really cool. She had an opposite theme. She was pink and white. I even asked her, is pink your favorite color? And she loves pink. Her car looked really good as well. So yeah, it was awesome.
Logan Velaz was on the other side of us, and they were a great team and family to be around as well.
It was all in all just a good experience.
It was a great experience. We had a great time.
We really didn't. We went there like we were going to get torn up, because in years past, people that we've been there with, people that we know, other racers that we didn't know, we've watched everybody get absolutely demolished there. So we came there with spare panels, spare wrap. It was overkill.
Wasted money.
Well, I mean, not really.
Him and I talked about this yesterday. He's like, I knew we wouldn't need it. And I said, you didn't know we wouldn't need it. It was a 50-50 shot. Either we were going to need it or we weren't going to need it, and we got lucky and didn't need it. But had we needed it,
2 wraps.
Had we not,
we didn't have
needed
two whole wraps, but we had most of them.
Yeah.
Had we needed it and not had it, we would have been screwed. So it was better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
I also want to say we're very blessed with the sponsorship that I was able to bring in for the Dome that allowed us to have those extra things. So not all of it was a waste.
No.
Yeah, you can still use the panels for this year.
I could honestly run that wrap if I really wanted to for the first couple nights. I don't know that I am.
It won't fit.
But anyways.
It only fits on the car that's out there. It won't fit on anything
Oh,
else.
are you trying to get into that conversation
Not
right
yet.
now? Oh, okay.
But there was, the dome was a great experience, and they told me not to touch up on this, but we did have a couple bad experiences.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
it involves hotels.
Wednesday is move-in day. If you've ever been to the Dome or you've ever raced at the Dome or been a part of a team that races at the Dome, you know Wednesday is move-in day. You sit in your vehicle with your trailer all day and you wait your turn to park.
Sat in the
Unless you're
parking
a
lot
late model
9
driver
hours.
like
We
Bobby
didn't sit there
Pierce.
9 hours.
I got there at 1 o'clock, and we didn't leave the dome till almost 9 o'clock
We were in the building for a little bit. But anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead.
in our truck.
Unless you're Bobby Pierce or Jonathan Davenport and you're in row A in a total row, you have an all-day wait.
Yeah.
So we waited all day, and it wasn't terrible. Just the waiting, being impatient is the worst part of it.
We're all impatient.
I have zero patience.
It was
He has
freezing
none.
the first couple days. I think Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday were freezing. Anyway, we waited all day, finally got into the Dome. Like he said, we got all of Haley's merchandise thanks to Tammy Gundaker using her golf cart to help us get it upstairs.
She was a blessing.
I'm going to stop you there. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy also did a lot of petitioning. And she's always been a person that never fails to come over and say that I'm doing a great job and being encouraging, despite maybe the way that I think about myself. But
yeah, we get everything squared away, get the trailer dropped off with the car, truck unhooked, merch upstairs, and we are hungry at this point because we haven't had dinner. You know, it's like 9, 10 o'clock. We go to the over-under bar, which isn't very far.
had
Great
texted
food.
me that the over-under bar was really good and it was not very far away. And
Food was great.
yeah, food was great.
That point, I'm tired. We're all tired.
It's like 11:30 at this point.
We get to our hotel, which is also just right across the street from the Dome.
Embassy Suites.
Embassy Suites, downtown St. Louis. Supposed
Shout
to
out,
be
not to you.
really nice place.
At least not our room.
Rooms are crazy expensive, you know. I've had it booked for almost a year. Looking forward to it. Get to the room. Gary always takes his shower first because he's the fastest. Gets in the shower. I'm starting to get things semi-unpacked. I put my fan on the nightstand beside the bed because I need a fan to sleep. And I look to my right. And I see...
BPG.
I see...
Something of male anatomy.
There was
a male bodily fluid on the
expressed
headboard.
itself on the headboard. and nowadays it could have been a female that.
Anyway,
All
no.
right, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
Well,
Let me finish talking. And I'm like, Haley! Because he's in the shower. Haley!
And this was not the hotel that I was going to stay at. So Bree flew in to the Dome that next
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. And we had a hotel that we booked through like the driver portion of the hotels that were left over at Union Station, which was really nice. But I was not going to.
So she was with us for just Wednesday night.
Yes.
And then she had her own hotel. So I'm like, Haley, get in here. And I show her, and we're both like, we won't go into any more about that.
so then I find out about this.
The pillow falls.
Yeah.
Well, then the pillow falls forward because we're looking at this.
I walked out of the room.
Yeah.
And you're still in the shower.
And I see what looks like a shell from a bug. And I'm like, no.
Then the pillow walks off the bed.
Then I see a bug crawling.
It was like a little tiny looking black bug.
No, it was
Almost.
brown. It was brown. And I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, get me the HE double hockey sticks out of here now. I have never seen a bed bug in real life. I don't want bed bugs. I'm not bringing that home.
She did take a video of this.
Took a
just
video
in
of
case.
the bug, called the front desk immediately and told them what was going on.
I start wheeling the suitcases
Get 'em
out
outta here.
in the hallway. He's barely dressed. Like he's still getting. We're having to give him clothes, find him socks because everything's getting put out in the hallway.
So I find out what this stuff is on the headboard, and it is gross, and the bed bugs are gross. But then I'm kind of like, how in the hell did that son of a bitch get that up there? So it's kind of it's
still
sick.
on
It's
the-
sick, but it's impressive.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're moving on from that part of the conversation.
Goodness.
I'm crawling out of my skin at this point. I'm freaking out. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed.
It's like 12.
I'm like, Haley, I don't know what we're going to do. I guarantee there are no rooms anywhere.
So I'm on my phone. scrolling,
I'm
looking
hauling
up.
out luggage in boxers, pretty much, a hoodie and shoes and no socks.
Not in your boxers,
You were
but
in
anyway.
shorts. You were in like probably sleeping shorts.
Night shorts.
He sleeps in a nightie.
Dr. Seuss shorts.
Can I AI a video? I don't use AI. Let's just start
No,
there.
we're not.
But can I AI a picture of you in like a night dress
Well, yeah, well, I
and a
don't
moo
care.
moo?
We're packing all of our stuff out.
I'm
We're-
looking up
yeah.
hotels, trying to figure out, and I'm like, hey, it says there's one room left at the Marriott. And she's like, I don't want you driving around, because we took separate vehicles because I had to go to the airport the next morning. Like, I don't want you driving around downtown. I'm like, do you want a bed tonight? Because it sounds like I need to go to the Marriott while you guys pack this up and get the refund or whatever you got to do. So
So we had to get both cars out of valet too.
Yes, we had to wait. We had already, his truck and my car valeted. So I get my car out of valet. I head straight to the Marriott because it's the Dome, and you don't know what time somebody's showing up or going to book a room. Or a lot of come to find out, a lot of the airport staffing books at Marriott's.
Yeah, I saw a lot of flight
Flight attendants
pilots
and
and flight
pilots.
attendants at the Marriott. Yeah.
They get some sort of points program if they book there. Kelly from my new job was actually telling me about this. But anyways, I head over to the Marriott, and I'm waiting there to talk to the manager because we don't want to book another room if potentially there's bed bugs, which we come to find out there was no bed bugs, thankfully. But we had to book the room to see the room, and then it was the same deal. You had to get a refund if there was something wrong, whatever. So they ended up staying at the Marriott the rest of the weekend. And yeah,
It was a lot better. The hotel in general was nicer. However, I'm a super, super clean freak. And so obviously after our bed bug experience, I go and I pull the sheets and the mattress
Hold on,
protector.
let me, there's more to this story.
What?
We're sitting down there in the lobby, and Jonathan Davenport and his family walks in.
We were
No,
we were
that-
still at,
We were at the embassy
Embassy
suites
suite.
leaving.
Oh.
Haley's going to get us a hotel and try to
so I'm
find
gone
one.
already.
You're
I didn't
gone
know about
already.
it.
Yeah.
We're waiting for our truck
JD walks in
with
and,
his family.
I'm like, man, should I tell him?
I'm like,
She's not even going to let me tell him, so I hope he didn't find bed bugs either.
I hope he
Yeah.
didn't.
I was going to warn him.
Yeah. I was
But,
like,
I mean, he probably had though, like,
Well,
he probably had a
yeah,
suite
yeah,
upstairs.
he probably had the room up top with the pool in there. So
well, listen, I've stayed at the Embassy Suites before, and
we thought that it was
we
nice from her
didn't-
experience.
From my experience, we didn't have a bed with bed bugs, and we obviously didn't bring bed bugs home.
No.
So
and we didn't bring them with us.
no. So clearly, we didn't know there was going to be bed bugs. So that's might not be everybody's
I have
experience.
a feeling because we waited to check in so late, I probably should have gone earlier. I mean, I'm glad we didn't stay there. So it's all doesn't
They
matter at this
probably
point.
give us a room
They
that-
gave us one of the last rooms because we checked in so late. That was probably like a room that doesn't get used because that bed bug was huge, and I'm pretty sure they're like supposed to be microscopic.
Like you can't even hardly see them.
Yeah, but I think that's probably what happened. We were in a room that never gets checked into, but
that was probably a flight attendant's room.
who knows? I don't know, but
That guy flew that sumbitch up there.
let's say needless to
I'll
say,
quit.
needless to say, we will be taking our very nice RV and staying where Kim and Tim stay from now
In
on,
our own bed.
or driving back home. We're
Yes.
not that far away.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that again.
Because we go to pack up our stuff Saturday morning at our new hotel, because obviously Saturday night at the Dome we're packing up and leaving.
I mean Friday morning.
Yeah.
Or no, Saturday morning.
Saturday
yeah.
morning, and Rick Canoyer and his crew can confess to this too. My wife takes everything we got.
Oh, I forgot about this.
So
How'd I forget?
I have the biggest suitcase they buy, and it's plumb packed full of shit. I'm packing it down because that's all I can carry. Amanda's got her hands full, so we're
Kinley does.
Kinley's got her hands full. We got a cart, and we're wheeling to the elevators. Next thing you know, we're all sitting there, and
Fire alarms go
I'm
off.
assuming somebody pulled the fire alarm to be funny, but we're on the 16th or 18th floor,
16th.
and so we have to pack all of this stuff.
16 flights of
16,
stairs.
I mean, whatever floor we was on, 16 or 18, all the way down to the bottom. And so I got the heaviest suitcase the man known. I'm carrying it down. My wife's got a couple
Wah, wah.
suitcases.
I wish we had
And
a video of this.
I did have a fan box, but I'll tell you that. Get into that.
Me and Kinley had our hands way
They-
fuller
they
than
had-
him.
They did have their hands full, but it wasn't like carrying a person on your side. You're lopsided. And some guy walking next to me goes, "Oh, man, you're better than me." I'd already threw that son of a bitch down the steps.
So
And he saw me struggling.
When
Hold on. And so we're about halfway down, and I don't know this guy's name, but he sees me struggling with the fan box in my suitcase. He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to go in for a hip surgery." He's like,
On
like,
Monday.
"Yeah, on Monday." He's like, "You mind if I carry that fan for you?" I said, "No, I appreciate it." And so he wheels the fan down and he sets it at
He
the bottom
doesn't
of the
wheel
stairs.
it down. He had to carry
He
it.
carries it down, and he sets it down at the bottom of the stairs for us. And next wasn't but a week or so later, he commented on one of Haley's posts that
He said, "I think that was me that carried that fan," and I'm like, "Thank you so much
yeah.
for all your help." He also helped Kinley with her
Yeah.
suitcase the last 2 flights.
very nice guy.
Very nice, and he had a hip issue, and it was hard for him to get down the stairs. But
He must have only took one set of clothes because he didn't have any luggage.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Some people don't, though. Some people
He
don't
might
pack
have been
a
staying
lot.
another night.
I'm an overpacker.
Oh,
However,
yeah.
we were there for a lot of days, and we had all of us. But yeah, we had one big suitcase, like a huge suitcase. Kinley had a suitcase. I had a third
350 plus.
suitcase, and then we had 2 duffel bags, a fan. There was another bag, and my purse.
We had a bag full of drugs.
Oh, we had a bag full of dirty
when you say drug, you're gonna make these
vitamin
people.
C,
He meant
multivitamins.
all of our drugs for like
yeah.
vitamin C,
Elderberry.
vitamin D,
Yeah.
elderberry, zinc, immune support, all of that
We
because
was
it's the
prepared.
dome. We were
getting
prepared.
vitamins in the system for the dome
We
flu.
had been getting vitamins. I had been getting vitamins in my system for a month and a half prior to the dome.
Yeah.
And I still got sick
Yeah.
twice.
You were already
Not as-
sick with strep before you
Yes.
went, but because your sister had
We
it
didn't
too.
even touch on that.
But me and you got a cold, a scratchy throat, and a snotty nose, but it was nothing. I mean, I would take that every year compared to
Yeah.
some of the sicknesses I've had from the dome.
We about died
I
that
almost
one year.
died the year before from a stomach flu. I mean, I didn't really almost die, but it was
the
bad.
stomach flu. But
I did.
I got something that made me feel like I was literally like ran over by a Mack truck and just backed over and ran over again like 30 times over. But this year it was a lot better. I was able to work through whatever I had, which
Yeah, it
sounds
wasn't- it
horrible.
didn't knock us down.
But I didn't have a fever. But I was definitely sick.
Scratchy throat, runny
I
nose,
felt
nothing
horrible, and I
serious.
Yeah,
wanted to
we'll
nap
take
all
that.
day. But I'll
Yeah.
take that. But Kinley and I did come down with strep. I actually was safe on coming down with the strep up until Tuesday. Tuesday I went to work, and that's usually the story of my life. I go to work the first couple hours, and I'm like, man, I don't feel good, and then I have to leave work. So that's what happened. I had to go midday urgent care Tuesday. And the guy said, yeah, you definitely have strep, but you're testing negative because it's so early. I had all the signs. So then he called me in the prescriptions for the antibiotic and steroid, to which I couldn't get until Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday we had to be there, and I was not around anybody until Wednesday night, thankfully. And that at that point I had all 3 of my doses of antibiotics, but I was sick when I got there. So thankfully I recovered quickly.
That all worked out, but our hotel experience is not so much.
Not so good. Not for $1,400 worth.
No,
No.
both
Yeah.
hotels were $1,400 for 4 nights: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
4
Because
nights.
her and Bree stayed in our hotel at the Marriott on Saturday night, since Bree flew out on Sunday, so they didn't have to come all the way to Farmington, then go all the way back up to the airport. But yeah, for the price that they charge, there's no reason
And
for all that.
Embassy Suites did give us a full refund,
Yes.
so there was no charge there. But they did give us like a 2 or 3 night free stay.
Won't
that
be using it.
If any of you want it,
if
let
any
us
of you
know.
want it, I'll give it to you for free. It probably comes with extra stuff.
They said they gave it to us, but unless it's
Yeah.
on some account I have to log into, I haven't gotten
We're not going
anything.
to use it.
Yeah, moral of the story, it's not going to be used.
Yeah, we're
so
not
if you
gonna
want
use
it,
it.
let us know.
Yeah.
We'll try to find it. But, yeah, that was really the whole dome experience. Bree flew in. Huge shout out to Bree. That was the first time we ever met. Was when I picked her up from the airport in person. We FaceTime a lot. We call frequently. We text almost daily. Very like personalities. She definitely brings a lot of
Whiteness and fun.
brightness to the atmosphere when she's around. So yeah, that was a great time.
Very nice, young, respectable young lady.
She's a couple years older than me, but she also races a sport mod, IMCA sport mod, out of Nebraska. If you're ever up in that area. But that's really it for the Dome. I mean, the racing didn't go horrible either.
Haley qualified good?
Really well. I would have liked to have done a little better than I did, but considering it was my first time, you know.
Well, you started off in the heat race, lap or two in, getting a right front, broke shock bolt, so
Yeah.
that didn't help.
No, I understand it as dome racing, but definitely was maybe chopped down really hard. You can see it in the in-car camera video, but he broke my right front shock when he did that. We hit so hard, I literally was pointed at that wall. You know what I'm talking about? Like where the tire sits. For 1 second, and I was able to get the car back straight, and my life flashed before my eyes for just a split second.
When there ain't much real estate to go for, and everybody's going for the same real estate, that happens.
It happens. But
And it was rough, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it was a little rough that night. So I tried the top because I couldn't make the bottom work because the right front shock was broke. Got into the wall a little bit because of that. And then I just rode around the back. I was trying to race with another driver, and it didn't quite work out. So I just made laps until I could finish the race, thankfully. But that kind of set us up a little rougher for the B main? Mm-hmm. The B main. And then I got into the not B main, non-qualifier.
Yep.
And I moved up 5 spots?
5, I think.
5 spots maybe.
Totally KO'd Treb.
I did not.
Yeah, I could see his feet.
I told him he needs better rivets. But he also had room to get to the wall, which if you know anything about Treb's night, he started off his weekend with KOing the right front completely off of the car with the wall, I think in qualifying. So he didn't even have a qualifying lap. So he says that he didn't even want to be anywhere near the wall when I tried to throw this little slider on him. So he wasn't going up any further, which respectable. It's all right. But yeah, I was 1 spot out of the last in your win race. So overall, racing wasn't bad.
Had a good time, great time.
Had a great time. Great time meeting fans. Great time meeting just everybody in general. Talked to a lot of businesses and things like that. Got to meet a few of my sponsors. So that was really cool. The helmet that I had done.
That turned out amazing.
They knew nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. Other than obviously it would match the car.
He nailed it.
He did great. I had the idea to add some pictures into it. Capital Custom Paint. I believe he's from Georgia. But he did great. He did amazing.
His name is Tim.
Tim Crump.
Looking at having him paint Gary and Kinley's helmets for this year. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to...
Me and him worked out a deal on a quarter panel.
Yeah.
Haley knew nothing about.
No.
Gary's out there giving away body panels.
I didn't give it away.
He was a sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm saying just like, you can have, he's promising them to people like without talking to anybody.
So yeah, we're up there getting the merchandise stuff handled. And Dad's down there making these deals with people. And then I get this random text, I think probably the next couple days. I'm not even going to say when because I have no idea. My phone also blew up after the Dome, which was awesome. Thank you to everybody who followed all the messages, likes, comments, all the things, and text message and calls. But my phone blew up, and then I get this random text message that's like, hey, something, 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 and quarter panels in there. Your dad and I talked, and I was like, Dad, what kind of deal did you make out here? Like, I didn't know anything about it. It's not a problem. But I was just like, what are you talking about? So Dad filled me in.
If you know Gary, he likes to give.
He gives everything away.
Yeah,
That's why.
And if you got a young kid and we got shirts their size or die cast and they come up to me, they probably ain't paying for them.
No, it's probably free.
Yeah.
But the
Free
funny
50.
thing here is he's like, we don't ever make money on the merchandise. And
He's like, we don't need to buy merchandise. We never make any. I'm like, we don't make anything on it because you give it all away.
which is fine to a select few
It's
people.
fine.
But
Yeah,
like,
but To make a long story short, we was down at Springfield a few years ago, and one of my good friends I met, through some other friends named Carl Murphy. Me and him can tell some stories.
He's a storyteller.
We need him on the podcast.
It'd be a good story if you could hear me and him tell the hotel story. I mean, it'd be a nice one.
Oh my God. We'd have to put you on a different channel.
Yeah. It might not
Anyways.
be PG rated. But we were down there at the Springfield, and his boy at the time was growing up to be a real good racer. And I give him one of my shirts. I'm not even sure. I think he come to the trailer. Was he looking for a shirt?
I don't remember, but you gave him
he
a
ended up
t-shirt.
with one of my t-shirts. Well, the next thing you know, the very next month or two later, after the Turkey Bowl was that year's dome, and he ends up getting interviewed on the dome with my t-shirt
By the Flow
on.
announcer.
Yeah, with my t-shirt on. So
and everybody's blowing Gary's phone up. These kids wearing your shirt. Kids wearing your
so
shirt.
that was pretty cool.
So yeah.
So that's the perks of not being stingy.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Grandma Becky called me. I told her I had to call her back.
Yeah.
But, anyways, that's the dome experience. What else is there? I don't know that there's really anything else.
We had Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just making sure she didn't call.
We have talked about going in circles with Haley's old car, and we can let Haley tell you however she wants, but Haley's going to get something a little different to drive this year.
Dad had kind of brought up the idea to possibly this past season give me the Pierce since he was getting a new car, but we didn't know when he'd get his new car and all the things. So obviously I had a B mod, which is the long shot that used to be my A mod, and then his A mod long shot, which became mine last season, or two seasons ago.
We probably won't ever get rid of that one. That one's kind of special to me.
Yeah, it's a little special. And to the point in which I really didn't want to get rid of it at first when he brought this idea up a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember when. And anyways.
Well, probably wasn't a month ago. Just a few weeks ago.
Well, let's talk about that for just a second, because that car, Gary won almost all of his features in that car, which is Haley's A-Mod.
The A-Mod that I brought to the Dome.
That car has been to the Dome 3 times. Michael Long raced it 1 year. Tim borrowed it and raced it the next year, and now Haley raced it the 3rd year. And it was competitive.
With everybody.
Really competitive with Haley in it because she's used to driving it. And Michael, obviously, he built it. He knows how to drive anything. But she qualified great. This car is still capable of...
It's never been wrecked.
Not hard.
No damage to the
Bolt
frame.
on parts and things obviously have needed fixed, but
No
no
frame
damage at all.
And it's still competitive.
And yeah, I set QuickTime, 2 tracks, I believe.
And well, when you say QuickTime in your group, not like overall,
not overall,
QuickTime,
but
yes.
I was 2nd overall one night at Peevely next to Steve Pacou.
Yeah.
And there was, I think Kenny Wallace was there. Dad.
I think that was hot
Mike
laps.
was there.
Yeah, I don't know if
We
that
didn't
was,
have. I don't
it
think
wasn't time, and it was just hot laps.
we didn't have qualifying that night.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if they would have been, we were
Right.
the
So
it's
fastest.
a really competitive car.
It's really competitive. So about a month ago,
But it's 6 years old now. It's almost 6 years old or a little more.
It's 2026, so yeah, it is 6 years old.
6, 7 years old, yeah.
7 years old. It's really competitive, but as racing goes, everything gets outdated at some point, and there's only so much speed you can get out of something. So Dad brought up the idea of me getting a new to me Longhorn. It has been raced before.
Only has a couple nights on
Only has a couple nights on it, and it's people that we know. We actually have bought a car.
It's got more than a couple nights on it, but it's a 2025.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we actually
How many
might-
nights?
Oh, I'd have to ask Sean, but it's a
It's
2025 Longhorn.
well under 15.
I'm not sure he's raced
I
it, though.
don't think he's raced it that many times.
Would have to ask
He's
him.
raced it quite a bit, but not
Yeah, more than a couple.
a handful of times.
Yeah.
2 handfuls at least. Despite that, he wanted to keep the cars have the same chassis.
Everything to be interchangeable.
Yes. Again, because he used to have a long shot and I used to have a long shot. And then he started venturing out a little bit and he still had his long shot. And then I got both of them and he's had different cars ever since. And it's just kind of a lot to keep up with.
It's easier if everything's interchangeable and numbers and center to centers and all that stuff
Parts and bars and
all of it can
Yeah.
kind of stay on the same page. It makes it easier on Gary and Haley and just everything. So
here shortly, we should be receiving a Longhorn roller for me. We will have to
2025, right?
Yep.
2025 Longhorn roller.
It's identical to the car I have.
And they're going to be identical in powder coat too.
Yes, same color gray. They were actually, Tim Zock at Longhorn told me they were actually built, back to back.
Yep.
He said they're the exact same.
So they're the exact same, completely interchangeable for us. I would be lying if I told you I wasn't a little nervous, but
She don't even want to run a different motor. She's scared.
I'm not scared. I just don't I like new things, but I don't like to be completely
Starting from scratch
Starting
and feeling
from-
like you gotta learn something new, but
Yes.
you'll figure it out quick.
I'm a quick learner, but that doesn't mean I love learning from scratch all the time.
And I really, want to thank Sean Deering and John, which Haley does, John's Facebook page for Sparks Maintenance and Contracting. I really want to thank them for the good, tremendous deal on this car. So,
Yep.
I mean, we're in very,
very well.
They made it to where we could have the same car, very, very reasonable. So,
Couldn't really pass it up.
and we are selling Haley's B mod just, so everybody knows that we're not going to have 6 cars.
No.
We have, we're selling the B mod to put, towards this car. So
We'll have
Well,
we're
three.
we're getting rid of one to replace another.
We'll have
We
3
need
cars.
to preface all
Yeah.
of this because we downsized a lot. You sold
Yeah.
your Pierce.
Yes.
Your Pierce is no longer. And the B-Mod motor is already gone.
Yep.
Joe
And then
bought
we're
that.
selling the B-Mod chassis as well as a roller. And that should be gone within the next couple weeks.
Your A-Mod that you raced at the Dome will stay here and it will become
A kid's
a
mod.
kid's
for sure.
mod for Kinley.
Yeah, Kinley's Kids Mod. And if need be, I guess it's always there as
A backup car.
Yeah. So Kinley might not get a kids mod this year, but hopefully next year.
Yeah.
We'll see how this
We'll see how
goes.
this goes, and maybe mid-season or something.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the plan.
And
But yeah.
I think, both of us being in the same chassis will help tremendously. Because, I've, still learning every day on, I probably try to learn too much, but I don't think you can in this game right now. If you don't want to be that person that don't know nothing that just cleans it. So you got to learn all you can.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's, I guess,
this
2020.
fly and I are gonna fight.
I know. I guess that's 2025 in a nutshell. More than a nutshell. I don't know what you call it. Anything else you can think of?
Going into 2026 on a wing and a prayer, I guess, right? Isn't that what they say? Yeah.
Yep. I think that's it.
I'm going to do my best to fill at least one handful of feature wins.
I'm going to try to get my
That's-
first
That's
one.
my goal.
I just want my first one. Obviously, I want to win, but I definitely want to get what do they say? The first one's the hardest one to get,
Yep.
and then after that, it's a little more easy. So,
Yeah, I remember when I got my first feature win and felt like I ran 100 laps. The checkered flag never
You're sitting
came.
there and you're like, "Where's everybody
The checkered
at?"
flag never came.
Finally did.
Yeah, finally,
but
it finally
felt like
did.
7
I'm
years.
Like, man, are we running like 40 laps here or what? I know I'm coming up to the white and I
will touch on both heat races that I won. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying.
You know who was in second in both
Yeah,
of them heat
you
races.
were,
Yeah, because
but
I let her win.
He did not.
He did not. He gave it all he had.
I had to block Rick Knoyer once to let her win.
Yeah.
But it is awesome getting to race with your dad. I know there's a couple families out there that do also get to race with their family members. But it's definitely a great feeling when you get to beat your dad as well. But then you never know he's always proud of me. I'm just saying, you never know what the
there going to be any hurt feelings when you get back to the trailer?
If there's going to be any hurt feelings at
and
all.
just to clarify, I would never let anybody win. Ever.
No.
I'm too competitive.
He's way too competitive.
Yeah.
So that's how that's the good feeling that I get when I did win against you both times. Like, man, I know he didn't just let me win. Because he's the hardest on me.
For prime example, the only time I've ever set quick time anywhere, when I set quick time at Peevely's got this nice scoreboard. When you come across, he's green, white, checkered. I'm coming across the white and I look up and I just happen to see me hit third. I'm like, man, this car's got a little more in it. Hell with it. If you crash it, you crash it. Try to go faster. So I ran it harder. I mean, even though third was very respectable and I knew there was 3 heat races, I'm like, this car can go faster than that.
Well, Chase Prather had an in-car camera on in your car.
I'm glad he did that night.
And I'm glad he did that night. But I have the video, and you can see Dad in there, and he's like, yes, yes.
I am terrible about not running and pushing the car to its fullest, and I need to start doing that more because the car's way faster than what I show it is, and that's just me being conservative and not wanting to. I'm like,
well, he doesn't. He works. He obviously owns his own concrete business, so he doesn't want to be working on the car all week, replacing parts and doing all the things, and having to go to work, and then having to race the next weekend. It doesn't pay. Racing doesn't pay. All of us know we lose money doing this.
So, but now that you're, as I know I can be more competitive, it's a lot easier to push the envelope a little harder.
Yeah. That you've definitely shown that this year.
Yeah. So.
But in years past, we're always like, why are you on the start like a mile behind everybody? What are you doing?
I'm pushing their quarter panels up in them and stuff.
What was the thing you told Trev? You had to run.
Oh yeah.
You really didn't probably have to run.
Trev came back to the pits and he saw his car and he goes, "What happened?" He's like, "I didn't feel it." And his guys said Gary had to run.
Yeah. Long story short, Trev, this is 50-50 Trev's fault. Trev, we got the start on the heat race, and he was on the very bottom, that one corner. And so we're going in 3 at 4 at Granite, and he's in front of me on the bottom. And I'm like, surely he's going to stay on the bottom. And I had a smoking run up top. And Trev did not stay on the bottom. He went from the infield tires all the way to the wall, and I wiped his right side out.
In his defense, he probably thought you were going back to the bottom.
Well, he said he could hear me. Yeah.
He probably
did think I was going to cut underneath him and try to pass him on the bottom, though. Yeah.
He probably did. I mean, that's where you like.
Gary's going to give it to me. Yeah. Give me the top side.
Hey, it's all right. He told me this year he was going to show me what a run looked like, too. So
get you back.
Right. He's going to get me back from the dome.
Well, he owes it to you. So yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Everybody, I'm going to put the video in.
I mean, you kind of got him.
I've got a couple different angles.
I could tell you what shoes he was racing with.
Yeah, I mean, we could see his master cylinders. There's no doubt about that.
But in all, me and Trev are both alike, and Haley's, getting a lot better. I don't care if me and you get into each other, as long as it's just hard racing, and that does not bother me one bit. And Trev is the same way, and I can appreciate that a lot.
Well, and that's like when I went down there to talk to him in his pits, and that's where those pictures came from. And a couple nights before, there was a interview with
Bronson and Huddy.
And Bronson picked up Huddy. And so I was like, I'm going to take a picture with your artwork, Trev. And Trev was like, wait, we got to do this right. And he picked me up just like the interview. But anyways, we talked about that too, about how I didn't wreck him into the wall. I didn't completely use his whole side up. I got his left front and the front of his door.
She completely used his whole left side from the number forward.
I did not.
It was probably the number forward.
It was the number forward, yeah.
His whole door.
I'm going to put a video in. I'm going to put a video
clip of Trev. Yeah. When this post, put a picture of your car in the comment section.
Yes.
He can't on YouTube. But anyways.
On Facebook.
We're not going to post this on Facebook.
We'll post a link on Facebook.
Anyways. Moving on.
So what's the goals for 2026 for you personally and race-wise?
The same as 2025. Grow as a person. I'm really just along for where God wants to take me. Yeah, my ears are open to him. I want to race the best that I can and be the most competitive and learn consistently and constantly in life and in racing. And I do want to get my first feature win.
It's a good feeling, and I hope you do. So
I want to learn to be more present in the moment, no matter what it is, whether it's racing or having a conversation with you or a conversation with your dad or a conversation with Kinley, conversation with somebody else. I want to have my mind more present in the moment. I feel like I'm always running 50 steps ahead of myself in my mind on the next thing that needs done, the next thing that needs done, the next thing that needs done. So I want to try to take it all in and be there. So that's my goal for 2026.
my goal is for people not think I spent out so much.
Yeah.
Listen,
Freaking idiots.
They call you a freaking
Any
idiot.
names though.
They call you an idiot.
But I do overdrive, and I have spun out my fair share, but I can name everybody that races that spins out. It's part of racing.
Everybody's got their thing they struggle with in all aspects of life, and you don't push the car and learn its limits, you can't grow and learn. So,
Yep.
but please work on keeping it underneath you, because I don't like watching you spin out in front of the field either.
Yeah. Can we please tighten the car up?
Well, I
Or
think that's
not over tighten
I
it
think
and
that's
break it?
I think that's part of the problem. I think it's too tight, and I overdrive it.
Well, there you go.
So
He does like to manhandle a car, and we're always trying to tell him to loosen it up. And when it's loose and it looks good, he's like, I need to tighten it up.
Well,
I'm like, no.
here's how you know that he likes an over tight race car. His brakes and his calipers and rotors are always glowing because he uses his brakes so much.
I think that's got a lot to do with my legs.
It probably does,
Because
and that's fine.
Because there's nights when my back don't hurt, and my brakes, I won't overheat my brakes, and there's the nights that when my back's
you're
hurting
tense.
and I'm tense, I'm riding the brake too much.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's true.
Yeah, so we're gonna work on that too.
Awareness is key.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that too.
We're gonna give you some stretches to do if your back hurts.
I had some help on some different type of brake calipers and stuff, and they did seem to get better. So we'll go from there.
What's your goal for 2026? You said not to spin out.
for anybody.
What else?
I don't want to have to fight anybody else at the races or.
You never fought
anybody.
Shit, there was one time in the stands. Do we have to tell the story?
No.
No,
Listen.
we won't tell that story.
We won't tell that story, but that old man, I watched him all season mouth everybody.
It wasn't just you. I watched him too, and I think I pointed him out more than you
from the
did.
stands, from his seat in the stands, week after week. And I had my fill. I have a cup, and it was so full it tipped over. And I also seen some things on the internet of him saying for other people we care about. And I had enough, and I let him have my piece of my mind, and I guarantee we don't have that problem next year.
Well, for anybody that's asking, my wife has always told me she's a grown woman, and if she says anything to anybody else, she chose to say it, and for me not to.
I don't say something to somebody thinking, oh, I've got my husband in my back pocket or behind me.
And I did not interfere in that.
And I didn't want him to interfere
Didn't even
in
know
that.
about it until my 11-year-old was white in the
Kinley
face.
and Chase ran
Yeah.
down and told on me, and we took care of it, squared it away.
No hard feelings with nobody.
No hard feelings, but I bet we don't deal with that in 2026.
We better not. We better not. Anyways, yeah. I think that's 2025 in a nutshell. It's crazy. It's already 2026.
So we're looking forward to. I'll probably race the Winter Blast if they have it, which I haven't seen it.
At old number one.
At old number one, that was a good time. I had fun racing with Drake Friendly and them guys last year, and I'll probably go back and. Well, I don't know. If Haley has her car done by then, we can take it too for practice. But I'm not sure if how all that's going to go. 'Cause
Well, my motor's off getting freshened. We have
There's
a
one
motor
sitting
in the garage that we've talked about.
she's scared of it.
I'm not scared of it. I just don't, like we said, I don't like starting straight from scratch.
Old
New car,
smoky.
new motor, new everything.
Yeah. Being completely clueless getting into it, which I know there's not much of a difference, but still, it's the thought, which I'll either get over or I won't. But I don't know when all that's going to get done, and I don't know when we'll get a body and wrap and all the stuff.
Hopefully we have the car here in the next 3 weeks. So that puts us into January. So we got all February to, mine don't need much. The motor has less than 20 nights on it. There's not much body work. My shocks are at Tom Berry's getting freshed. And I mean, mine's not far from, I could race mine
You
next
could race
weekend.
yours next weekend if you
Yeah.
had to.
If
you
I
needed
wanted to really work on it. But
yeah.
I really haven't, done much to mine since the dome and
Yours really doesn't need much, though,
but
either.
I mean, I've really been taking a break from it. I kind of try to do 1 or 2 piddly things a day here and there to it, just because I'm ADD about it. But like I worked on a couple bars a day.
At least you admit it.
Yeah, well, I am.
We all have a little ADD in us.
Well, I wash mine and put it in the garage Sunday, and then Haley washes hers Thursday, and we race it Friday.
Not.
This is part of him being hard on her. He likes to poke jabs, but
It's
But the
latest
difference-
by Tuesday.
the
Lindsay.
difference between Gary and Haley is Haley has a 9 to 5. It's not really 9 to 5; it's 8 to 5. But you being your
I
own
have a 4 to
boss,
1.
yeah, you get off a whole lot earlier, and you can also come and go sometimes as you please.
And I do have the guys sometimes that they do
can
help
help
me.
lend a hand when you're short.
so it
You
makes it a
know,
lot easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
So keep that in perspective.
Thanks, Mom.
Shout out to you. I know what it's like to be a woman and have to. Now she has her own place and her to clean it and
It's not
cook
only
and-
that, but like he just said, I also do. I'm starting
Yeah.
this month. We just started it the other night. I do one company's social media, all of their social media, and I which I've taken a break off. Thank you for the dome. He allowed me to take a little bit of time off just because I was so busy with that. But I also run Sparks Maintenance and Contracting. I do all of their social media now, so that looks like their website, their YouTube, and completely editing and redoing and making accounts and LinkedIn and Facebook. They want me to start doing shorts and reels and things for them. So I do all of that now, and all of our own stuff too. So
and
that
TNT
it's-
stuff.
Yeah, TNT was what I was referring to earlier.
And John is one of the main guys, if not the main guy at Sparks Maintenance and Contracting, and that's who, he helped Sean Daring out a bunch, and me and him talked, and that's I want to thank John and Sean again because they wanted Haley to have that car that way
For
ours
the
could,
Longhorn that I'm getting.
because they wanted our cars, they understood why I wanted to have the same cars, and they really made that happen for us. So can't thank them enough.
Yeah. But I do all of that too. So it's just a lot. Our lives look different in that aspect. He's very busy with his concrete business, but he does have a little more leeway during the day.
I have a little more evening hours than her because I start so early.
Yes.
a lot more evening
I
hours.
usually am done working, by 11 to 2 every day because we pour first thing. We start early. We don't pour 2 or 3 times a day because I won't kill my guys. And that's why I have the same guys that's worked for me forever because I don't kill them. And,
They
so
appreciate
I
it.
do have a lot more hours, of the day of daylight than she does, but
And so Sundays for me look like wanting to relax a little bit.
yeah.
But
Sunday for me is wash it and get in the garage. Mondays,
Well, we've been
Yeah.
very consistent this year in going to church almost every
Yeah.
Sunday.
yes,
So
Sunday
has kind of been our reset, get things rested up and ready for the week ahead kind of thing. But yes, usually after church, you wash it up and get it put in the garage so that way come Monday you can start working on
and
it.
typically I do too, unless I have something major
Going on.
going on as well. But there have been a few times I've waited till Monday
But
or
keep
Tuesday.
in mind, this is why YouTube is lacking in our
she's
life.
a very busy person, and
Very
I
busy.
don't do any of it. Man,
The social media
the
stuff.
social, the social media part.
Yeah. I'm fixing to figure out how to do the YouTube part. I obviously know how to edit a video. I know how to put one together. I know how to video. I know how to do all of that. I have not tried to ever upload one to YouTube before. I'm fixing to figure that out here shortly to give myself something extra on my plate to take something off of hers.
We're gonna share the plate.
Yeah.
We're gonna share the plate.
We're gonna try to get that caught up.
If I did the videos and all that, it'd be mainly my ass crack. So, yeah.
Yeah, he'd forget to cut it out like
Yeah.
I do. I'm
Hey, looky there.
like, why has he been over so long working on that part? And why was
Yeah.
this video like? It's like 10 minutes straight. I'm like, cut it out. But anyways,
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think
figure
that's-
all that out.
We're gonna get everything caught up. We might have a few videos that we don't decide to post, and that's okay too. Because sometimes we were so busy there wasn't a lot of content.
Maybe we'll start fresh or just make a couple videos of like
Highlights
of,
from the ones that we didn't get
just
to
to get
post.
caught up.
Yep.
Because we really don't. There's to narrow it down. You know, there can be decent money in it, but we don't do it for the money. We do
I
it.
get
Time is way more
Yeah,
precious.
she gets
time
like
is-
$2,800 a month.
no.
No.
No. If I did, you wouldn't see me working as hard as I did on other jobs. I'd be cut back a little bit. I might work part-time in person if that were the case.
Honestly, the best part of the YouTube is
The
seeing
memories.
the memories and seeing the fans that come up and want to meet you because
Because they liked your video.
they like your videos,
Like
and-
keeping up with your life,
yeah.
whatever.
And in their eyes, they think you're famous, and you're really not. You know, everybody on this earth puts their pants on
One leg at a time.
one leg at a time, and they're all buried the same distance below the dirt.
Yep.
So
We're all the same.
we're all the same.
The only difference is we're doing this and we're talking about our experiences. Some people don't get those opportunities, and some people don't choose to do this. The last thing that I want to say to kind of touch on that is we grew exponentially in followers and subscribers this year. I haven't completely tallied up the number just because I haven't quite had time to, but we are over, I think we're almost at 31,000 on Facebook, which is crazy because a year and a half ago we were at 9,000 on just one Facebook page. And then we have 17,000 on another page, Haley Gross Racing, which I don't technically use. We tag all the time. We don't post on there. 9,000 on YouTube, which could be a lot better, but like I said, those are a little
That's
bit
the area that's lacking just because time is precious.
harder to come by. And then we've got almost 30,000 on TikTok. So we've got quite a few eyes watching us consistently, which is kind of crazy.
But that is one thing
awesome.
else I want to say too, though, is while I said I wanted to be present more for 2026, I also don't want to feel like we are running from one thing to the next this year. Because last year
we did that a lot last year.
we did that a lot last year, and I sometimes didn't know if I was coming or going between packing and packing, unpacking, cleaning and repacking the trailers and all the things all year. It felt like a lot, and it was overwhelming at times. So sometimes I want to be able to take a little bit of a breather.
I can remember getting rained out on a Friday night and be like, wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
We're not at a racetrack running around with a chicken with their head cut off.
Yeah.
And I think back to like when me and Michael Long talk, and he says that for this year he pretty much just raced when he wanted and picked and choose his races, wasn't doing no points. It's just kind of relaxing year. I can respect that because I've never raced as much as him as he has in one season, but I couldn't imagine, racing like he did the year he won Mars, and
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
It's hard mentally, physically, emotionally,
'Cause
family wise. It's just hard.
So
and it was hard for us to
do
keep up with
them
what we were
guys-
doing.
To do what them guys like Michael and all them guys that's got a special talent, that it's just tremendously hard to do it.
Well,
this year was dedication.
This year was the first year too, 2025, that we didn't take a real family vacation.
No.
And we usually go to Florida or do something like that.
Which we're going to take a vacation this year.
That's the plan this year. We always have, and that time away from all of the responsibilities of life and stuff is huge for your mental and
If we weren't
spiritual
going to
health.
take a family vacation, I was already planning one. So
Yeah, solo.
She's an adult, so she can.
She can.
yeah, I was going to take my own. drive my happy butt wherever I wanted to go.
Well, your car ain't got so much miles on it now, so you
No, now I'm good.
Yeah, that's another thing. Haley added a new car, traded her car in, got a new car,
It was time.
new daily driver. Here's to 2026.
Is that the end? All right, that's the end.
Peace.
Peace.
And may I kick your ass every time we race.
Wow. I'll win. You'll be second.
You might catch me at home. I don't want to be a part of any of that.